Hi.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing this evening? Hope you've had a great Friday.
Hope it's been a wonderful week for you guys.
Yes. Want to say hello to Mateo and Daniel. Thank y'all for popping in. There's our Zola
Yeah.
and DK Jen hopping over from a Granny D raid. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys so much. You know how much we appreciate it. And yeah, I see that Maureen has gifted memberships, and you know that I gifted memberships. So for all of you that receive some memberships, this one's for you. Hello, Rita and Connie.
Hello, my sweet sisters. How are y'all doing this evening?
I hope you guys are doing good.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, and let us call attention to the oddball out. We have a special guest.
Yes.
Yes,
Many of you know her as Crafting Adventures with Amy. We just call her Amy.
Oh, well,
Crafting
one
Amy.
more minute. There is our beautiful, lovely Greenie D, the one we love so much, who raids us every week. This is for our sweet Greenie D. Oh, there's Carrie.
Hey, Carrie, how are you? Thank you for being here, sweetheart.
And Greenie D, thank you so much. I have had you in my prayers. I
Yes,
hope
sweetie.
I hope that you heal quickly, safely, and painlessly.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Well,
get that word out.
painlessly as much as possible, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I have had you on my mind, sweetie.
And Rita's mama is all settled in and everything after her surgery in a new rehab facility. So Rita has a couple of weeks in which to take care of herself so that when
Wow,
mama does come home, she's rip roaring and ready to go. I'm so happy
awesome,
for Rita. Yes.
awesome. So, like we had said, like Maureen had said, you got most of you know her, and a lot of us love her. This is our darling, dear, lovely Amy. She is what I could like to call a Jill of all trades.
That's right. Not a jack, but a jewel.
So, Amy, please introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Amy. Crafting Adventures with Amy. I've had my YouTube channel for a couple years. I don't remember exactly what year. I remember I started it on a September 11th. Why that date, I don't know. It was probably a weekend or something, and I just chose to do it then. Um, and I like to do crocheting and knitting and tatting, and I've done some paper crafting, card making, diamond painting, cross stitching, a lot of different crafts. I
Right.
mainly do the crocheting and tatting and knitting. Um, yeah, and I've been doing all of it for a long time. I can't even tell you how long. My grandma taught me to do tatting when I was very young, and I'm the only one of the family that I know of that still does it. I don't know how many she taught.
Wow.
I know she showed a lot of them, but I don't know who all maybe, took up on it or kept going
Right.
with it. So, so yeah, I think that's about me. My channel doesn't I don't do videos real often. I don't have a lot of time because of working full-time daycare, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm guardian of my cousin, and if anything happens with him, I have to deal with that first. So, I don't get a lot of videos out there, but I do try once in a while to put one out.
Mm-hmm.
I've made some of the blankets for Crystal Bag O' Day. Some of
Wow.
her blankets. I've got one behind me here. You can't see it. It's one that she's going to teach on her channel. I'm going to
Oh,
get it.
goodness.
I'm going to get it mailed out tomorrow. But I've done some for her auction, some commission ones. So, and I sent her the McDonald's one. Everybody, if
Yeah,
you watch the video,
yeah. The
Oh,
real recent one was the
yes.
McDonald's one. She went
Uh-huh.
nuts over it.
Yes,
she's
you
loving it.
did.
Yeah, so that was fun. I made it a few years ago and I saw it downstairs and I'm like, I think this is the one I'm going to send to her because I've been thinking about what to send for the auction, and
Uh-huh.
I guess that was a good choice. She liked
That
it.
was a very good choice. She went nuts over that.
She did.
Oh,
She did.
Greenie D says, thanks, Amy, for the gorgeous tatted cross bookmark.
You're welcome. Yep, I gifted her one.
Yes,
Happy
I am a lucky receiver of one of your cross bookmarks, and I had to get another one from you to give to my husband. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. They're
It was-
fun to make. I enjoy making them.
Well, it's a good thing because I called her up. What was it, last year or year before last at Christmas? I mean, because Christmas like snuck up on me. And I said, Amy, can you whip out this number of crosses for me? She says, yes. What colors do you want? And I said, I don't care. I just need them. And because Warren, my grandson, he's 16 now. Every year he's given Christmas presents to his teachers. And so all the teachers got Christmas crosses. I'm thinking it was last year. Not this past Christmas, but past Christmas a year ago.
Right.
And it's a little hard to top that, Where do you go from giving out a tatted Christmas cross?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this year, and I was like, okay, everybody's just getting washcloths. That's what they got. I did 3 of them, wrapped them up in a bow, and sent them to my daughter to give out. And I said, don't anybody say anything about, well, where's the tatted stuff? Because remember, Maureen don't do that.
They're beautiful.
Yes, they are.
Work. I actually have, it's what the light is going out. I have an angel made by Amy. It is absolutely beautiful. It sits next to me. Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's tatted. Oh my word, it's tatted.
It's tatted. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do that. It just blows my mind.
Sometimes I don't know how I do it either.
It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
I couldn't put it up for Christmas. I had to have it sit next to me. You know, and the husband's like, no, let me take and put it away. And I'm like, no, it's sitting right here.
You can have an angel. You can have an angel up any time of the year. It's not just Christmas. So I know my aunts all used to wear an angel pin all the time. It's just a tiny little angel pin. But when you saw them with that angel pin on, you knew that they were kind of all thinking of each other. So
right.
Yes.
So yeah, you can have angels any time of the year.
Oh, they're just beautiful. It is, Connie. It is. It is. Here, I'll even stop blowing it out. The work is just
look at that.
unbelievable.
And there's well, I say this because I don't do the really tiny thread, but I honestly can't see you doing that with thread and a crochet hook. You know what I mean?
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and to know that, you watch children all day.
And whip that out. Yes.
And whip that out in your free time. I'm like, wow.
The crosses are easy because that pattern I have memorized. So I don't need to pay as close attention to that.
Wow.
Right.
So the crosses are pretty easy.
That's just amazing. I'm just blown away.
Well, I want you to know that I called Amy yesterday, like not quite at the 12th, what do they call it, the 11th hour, but pretty much. She and I had been talking about an organization that she follows and supports. And folks, I just got really, really excited about it. I even pulled it up and, did some investigating myself. And I thought, this is something that everyone needs to know about. Now, you may know about this organization. I didn't. In fact, the first time I heard about it was last month when I hosted Crochet Combat because, January I was the host and I asked for everybody to make hats. And Amy told me that she was making a hat and so she was going to double dip. And so I happened to ask her where she was double dipping to and she told me, and I really got excited about this. So I asked her last minute if she wouldn't mind coming up and sharing this organization with us and telling us a little bit about it because I believe you've been participating with them for a while, haven't you, Amy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a few years. I don't
well,
remember how long, but it's been a few years. I'm not
and
good at remembering exactly when I start things, but it's been a
right,
while.
right. Well, that's okay. So I thought, who better? Because I really wanted to put it out there for you guys. If you're looking for places to donate items that you get crazy and start making, and then don't have a place, so to speak, to take them to, or you don't know what to do with them, yeah, Amy, I'm turning it all over to you. I'm going to shut up.
That's okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay. Yep. So it's called Warm Up America. And they're based out of Texas. They have been for quite a while. I copied some stuff off their webpage today and just kind of made a few pages of information that I wanted to kind of share. Their webpage is warmupamerica.org. Warm Up America is all one word.
I dropped it in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. And then, so there it says their mission, the Warm Up America Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. It was founded in 1991 by Evie Rosen. It's committed to motivating, training, and coordinating volunteers to knit and crochet afghans and clothing for people in need. To this end, the foundation promotes, trains, and encourages individuals, volunteers, and groups to adopt the WUA program as a local activity. It supports and assists these local volunteers by providing information and instructional materials through its website and newsletters. See, those three things there: donate, make, and share. I took stuff off of those as well.
Right.
And then it acts as a collection point for sections, oversees assembly to completed. It oversees. When I read overseas, I think overseas, like
Right.
a different country. It
Like-
oversees assembly. It kind of watches over the assembly into completed blankets and shops items to various ships. They have shops in there,
Yes.
so they have it spelled wrong. Ships items to various charitable organizations and agencies for distribution to the homeless and persons in need. Now, Evie Rosen was actually from Wisconsin, so that's next to me. I'm in Minnesota, so Wisconsin is close to me.
Right.
And so she started. Well, there's a whole write-up about her. You can go and find that out, read up more about that. But it wasn't long after she started, after Warm Up America was born, people across the country started knitting and crocheting 7-inch by 9-inch sections, and other volunteers would join them. So basically what you do is you make these sections, you mail them to Warm Up America in Texas, and then they ship out boxes or huge boxes of 500 sections to someone who's called a joiner. The joiner then crochets, sews, joins them however they want, and they can either donate those blankets to a local charity to them, or they can send them then back to Warm Up America. Now, I did a few, and I sent them to Marianne, the crotchety clogger.
Uh-huh.
She brought them to the Baptist Children's Home, I think it was. So they got donated to that place there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was really a cool. I checked with the Warm Up America. I sent someone a message, and they said that that was an okay thing to do, because you don't want to do something that's not okay. So now on that one page, it had 3 categories, which was
Yes.
donate, make, and then share.
Yes.
And the donate one just has information on how they need your financial support to build our charity network. It helps them to ship, deliver, and create more warm blankets and clothing for people less fortunate than ourselves. Every time they ship out a box of 500 sections, they include one new skein of yarn in that. So if they
Mhm.
don't have any donated yarn, they have to go purchase that.
Right.
So that money helps with that too. And it helps, when you decide to be a joiner and you ask them, you email them and ask them, let them know that you would like to get a box of 500. They do ask if you're able to donate $40 to help pay for shipping.
Right.
Otherwise, there are, other people donate. Or when I did my box of 500, I paid 80, which made it to where if someone didn't have the money, then that money was already paid ahead of
Yeah.
time. So kind of like I angeled it to someone
Right.
so they could get it. And then under the make one, it talks about how volunteers donate their time to crochet and knit one or more 7x9 sections, as well as entire blankets. Now you can just make a blanket and send to them as well. They do kind of have, if you think of a blanket, the sections are 7x9. So they kind of have sizes that they would like the blankets to be close to.
Right.
And I have a sheet here that does show kind of how there I am, kind of how they do like a baby blanket. I think is 5 wide by 4. So if you take 5 by 7 across, and that's 35. Math is not a good thing of mine. It's not. And then it's 4 long, so that would be 36. So if you're going to make a blanket, you find a fun pattern you want to do, and you want to make a blanket, you can just make it, 35 by 36, just in that general area, and that you can send as a baby blanket. So it just has the different sizes of blankets that the sections can be made into. And if I would have just looked down here, it says the sizes right there, and I wouldn't have to do the math.
Right.
There you go.
Sometimes I'm not quite smart enough to do that. Now, if you make sections or a blanket or anything that you donate, they have a donation form that they would like. It's on their web page. I'm not good with the whole.
You're fine.
You're doing fine.
But it has all the information that they would like to know. They want your name, your address, your city, state. They keep track of everything that's donated. So they log into a computer and they literally track everything. I think by sending your email address, they email you so you have confirmation that you did send it, that they did get it. And then there's a one for campaign. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then you mark if you're doing a handmade donation, a monetary donation, and if it's your first donation, you can mark that too. Then there's lots of choices for you to mark. So
Right.
And if you don't have access to a printer, you can write this information on a piece of paper and include it in the box as well instead of printing it out. So I get ahead of myself. That was later on in my thing, but that's okay.
Which makes it easy for anybody to donate. You don't have to have a printer.
Yep. Yeah, because you can just take a scrap piece of paper, and the big thing, is just the name and address and all that, and you can just look online and see, see what it is. They even have a spot in there that you can mark if it's from a smoke-free or a pet-free home, or if the items are washed. If they're not, that's okay. But if they are, they're not going to ask both. Is it smoke-free or do you smoke? They're not going to ask that. They just want to know, they're not going to ask both. So, and it isn't that they won't take them from those homes. It just gives them an idea of if they have to maybe pay attention, for any animal fibers or anything in them. Now they do, speaking of animal fibers, they do like the stuff to mainly be out of acrylic, because you never know who could be allergic to something.
Yeah.
So, and then The share categories basically says that, there's strength in numbers, kind of like we're doing right now. It's just good to share it out and help warm up America by
Right.
sharing the word of the good things we do together. And then they gave some examples, and this is all on the webpage. But if you were to donate, it takes them, wrap it up, $30 will ship out. They can ship out 19 blankets, baby blankets.
Wow.
With $30. It costs $30 to ship out 19 baby blankets. It takes $30 to ship out 6 full-size blankets, or the 120 hat and scarf sets cost $30 to ship out.
Wow.
$50 can ship out 31 baby blankets, 11 full-size blankets, or 200 hat and scarf sets. And then if it takes $75, can ship out 47 baby blankets, 17 full-size blankets, or 300 hats and scarves.
Wow.
They do have, and I didn't find it, but I guess I didn't look real hard for it. They do have like a buyback. I think it's buyback or something back program, to where if you're going to ship items to them and the cost of shipping is over $20, you can go through this program and you can buy a postage paid
Yes, paid postage
label.
label.
Yeah. I'm talking myself into a circle. You can buy that for $20. So you're not going to pay more than $20, but
Right.
it only works if you're going to ship it back to them. If you're
Right.
shipping something to someone else, you cannot use that label because
Right.
it's affiliated with them, with their building, their place.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I found where it talks about different agencies that blankets are donated to. Examples are like women's shelters, nursing homes, children's hospitals, daycare centers, veterans home, churches, AIDS facilities, homeless shelters, American Red Cross chapters. So there's just a lot of places that they send blankets and stuff out to.
Right.
And then it does say that they're always accepting the following knit and crochet items, but I'm going to say something about one of them. They're accepting finished adult, child, and baby size blankets and lap gowns for wheelchairs, adult hats, scarves, gloves and mittens, baby clothing, and then 7x9 knit or crochet sections. But they did put a post out on their Facebook page asking people to hold off now with the hat, scarves, and
Yes.
until stop sending them as of March 1st, and
Right.
until the cold weather comes again, because they don't have room to store them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different organizations that are all affiliated with Warm Up America. One big one is called the Saber Healthcare Group, and I know Maureen looked into that. They have a really neat spreadsheet that you can click on, and it'll download on your computer or
Yes.
your phone. I only used my computer, but it's really cool because they take shawls and
Yes.
lap blankets, and what else was it?
Veteran blankets.
There you go. See, and I have it right in front of me here, but I'm like, I get myself in different spots on my paper.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pull up this spreadsheet, I pulled it up today, and they have big red markings. The squares are all red for the places that don't need anything, but the places that need things, they'll have, like, they're looking for 25 lap blankets,
Right.
or 15 shawls.
Right.
So you can look at that, and then the name and address everywhere. You can send it the place that they need it. The address
Right.
and everything is there, the information to mail it to. So you can make stuff and mail it right to them
Mm-hmm.
instead of sending it
Wow.
to Warm Up America for them to mail to them.
Right.
And if you do it that way, there is a form online. It's a survey on the Warm Up America webpage that you fill out, and it just lets Warm Up America know that you sent those
Right.
items to them. So that's part of them keeping track of everything that's mailed out, so they can do a count at the end of the year.
Right.
And there's just a list of places like Children in Crisis needs items year round, hospice,
Mm-hmm.
respite care facilities, homeless shelters. There's a place called Jaden Cares Blanket Drive. There's just a ton of places that they send stuff to year round.
Right.
I'm going to show some of I have some sections here. Now, what I
Cool.
did a while ago, I went to a Dollar Tree store, and people have been posting these that they found them at their Dollar Tree. And my Dollar Tree in town is pretty small. It doesn't have much for yarn related crafts at all, but this is a cutting mat. And the measurements on here, I mean, it goes from, it's 6 inches by 8 inches, but it's got the extra area here. So this is exactly 7 by 9 inches.
Really?
Oh,
That's what people
Nice.
were saying, because you can take that. Before I used this, I had a piece of plastic canvas cut out 7 by 9. Because then as you make a section, you can just put it on here, to measure if you're getting it the right size.
Oh, how nice. I've got to go look for one.
Yeah, and see this one I made today, it's a tiny bit wider, but that's okay because
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm going to put these together. I'm making a bunch of them. I was given some yarn from my sister's boyfriend. He lost his first wife, and she did a lot of crocheting and stuff, and he keeps finding more yarn related stuff. She brings it to me. And I mean, it's old yarn. I mean, this is not real soft yarn, but it's called poppin yarn.
Uh-huh.
It's like a vintage yarn.
Oh, it is.
And so I'm making some sections with these two colors because they're not real soft.
Right.
So I'm going to make sections and I'll put them together just for like a lapgan, because that's smaller. I can put that in my washer and dryer at home here, and that'll soften them up. And then I'm going to send them those blankets to them.
Right. Hello,
Nice.
Denise. Thank you for popping in with us this evening.
Hey, Denise.
Oh, and Denise says she has used that yarn.
Oh,
cool.
Well, looky there.
There we go.
I never heard of it.
I hadn't either. And she's brought me tons of, like, the beads on top of my tattered rain angels and stuff. Those beads from him too. So I'm just using what I get.
Hey, that's right.
Now, when I got my box of the box of 500, they don't all, like, they're not all matchy and go together.
Right.
You just get a bunch of different colored. Some are multicolored.
Yeah.
Good way to use up your scrap. I said scratch yarn. Scrap yarn. If you have a little bit of a yarn, some yarn left, it's a good way to use them up. This one is kind of like Vikings colors. I'm in Minnesota, purple and gold. It's not really a yellow. But then this one, they took like a granny square and then added to it.
Oh, well, how cool. Look at that little idea there.
And I had someone a while ago, I bought some yarn from someone off of like Marketplace or something. And she included a bunch of granny squares in it because we got to chatting, and I told her what I was going to use the yarn for. And so I'm going to use these as a pattern of how to add on to those granny squares to make them 7 by 9.
Denise is in Motley.
Oh,
she says, I'm in Motley. Oh, what is that?
I'm in Princeton, Minnesota.
Woo!
So
wow.
I don't
She
know
said
exactly
that
where
steaming
Motley
your
is.
granny squares will also soften them.
Yeah, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Well,
And I do have a steamer downstairs too. But then
Right.
there's some like this is with sparkle. You can see that in there.
Oh, look
Sparkle.
at
Yeah.
that.
And I've actually made a whole blanket with these sections, and then I have a
Wow.
few left over. But I'm going to make a blanket that's just multiple different colored
Right.
sections
Yeah.
and send it in. And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, all matches or not, because people that are cold and need a blanket,
They're not going to be picky.
Nope,
No.
they're not going to care. And then I have a couple blankets that I've put together. These are all with the sections, the 500 sections that I got. So I'm going to try and now this is with knitted. I got a bunch of knitted sections too, and I blocked every knitted section.
Oh my goodness.
They were curling up so much, so I
Right.
wanted to block them. So this one, here's this one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
look at that.
so pretty.
And you did pretty good putting those blocks together too. I mean, of course, I can't see what you did, but I mean, I'm talking about the colors that you put together to make the blanket. That's nice.
Yeah, I went through the whole box, and there were a ton of them. All of these with like this pattern and this pattern and this one, they had to have all been knit by the same person.
Right.
Because there was a ton of them, and they're all like exactly the same, which is good. I mean, when they get sections, they basically just put them together. You know, they'll count them out and put them right in a box.
Right.
You know, if they get 20 sections, they'll put them all right in a box. So,
right.
And then they label each box as they put them together. My husband is testing our doorbell.
Oh, that's okay.
That's a beautiful blanket.
That is a beautiful blanket.
And I haven't washed it at all, but I will before I send it. So
right.
Wow.
And then I've got one more here that is with crocheted sections, and it's kind of matchy, but that's because I was able to match them up. There's a bunch that will not be as matched up as nice, but I still will put it together, and they still take them.
Right.
But this one starts with orange.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, you know I like that.
Then there's a teal. I'll put it on.
But I like it because that one is nice because it's very masculine.
Yes, it is.
It is. It could go for, you know, anybody that
right.
Yeah.
So that's just another. It's fun to do the lapgan size because you get them done quicker.
Oh yes.
And then this one here, I did a border, kind of like a moss stitch border, but I included
Look at that.
A couple different colors that are kind of in the blanket.
Right.
I like
You
that.
don't have to. The other one I just did, I think, a double crochet border on it, and that was fine too. So,
but it makes them special, Amy. You know, when you put that little bitty touch on there.
Yep.
Denise says she used to live in the St. Cloud area, but now Motley is northwest on Highway 10.
Okay, yep, and I am east of St. Cloud. She probably can figure out where I'm at. So
I like that. That is beautiful.
I know I've heard of Motley. I just don't remember where it's at.
Right.
Yeah. So I really enjoy, you know, making the sections, and you know, I've had some blankets where it was, and I'm not a matchy person, but when I had 3/4 of the blanket really matching up nice, and then I just had a lot of random ones. So then I made, you know, then I could crochet some,
right,
and add them to it, you know, and make that blanket, you know, more matchable, and then take the other ones and make a different blanket. So
right.
That's fantastic.
Now, I want to mention, if you do make sections for Warm Up America, make sure you don't leave any of the little ends. Make sure you sew in all your ends.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
They get loads of them with unfinished ends, and then people, and I know I have a bunch of them downstairs, and we have to sew all the ends in,
right,
before we can put them together. So it does help out. They showed on their Facebook page one time, just a stack with ends coming out all over.
Oh my goodness.
It just kind of adds to, to what we would have to do to put them together.
Right.
Now, another thing that they have,
Yeah.
are soap sacks. And they have it labeled as S.A.C.K for the word sack. And the S, each letter stands for something. The S is for supporting. The A is just for A. C is for community. And then they added in the word with, and then kindness. The K is for kindness. So supporting the community with kindness. On their webpage, they have some videos and patterns on how to make. I think this is on the Soap Sacks webpage,
Right.
not on Warm Up America. I get myself turned around here. So what I did was I made last night and this morning. I took one of like a brand new of the peaches and cream cotton.
Nice.
I took not this color, but I took a new one. It hadn't been used yet. And I wanted to know how many soap sacks could I get with a pattern I found out of one of those. And I was able to get 4 of them.
Wow.
Wow.
And out of the 4, I had this much yarn left over.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
So, not a whole lot. So it used up, it was nice to use up the whole thing. And I think I used a H crochet hook.
Nice.
But yeah, so I made 4 of them. Now they have there's different patterns. This one has a handle on it. And then in the front of it has like a little hole.
Right.
So then you can put the handle through the hole, and then they can hang it up to dry, or if they're in a public shower or something, maybe there's a hook or someone they can hang somewhere they can hang it up. Now, when you make soap sacks, they want you to make sure that you include some soap with them.
Right.
Yes.
When you send them in. Now, this box of soap clearly won't fit in here, but this is my husband's soap, bar soap. But the goal is to be able to put the soap inside the soap sack. It fits in there really nice. And then just put that
Close it up.
through the hole.
Nice.
And they can leave the soap in there and get the whole, it's like a washcloth. Then they can
Yeah.
just use it for
All in one.
all in one, and then they can just hang it up and just let it dry.
Let it dry.
And then the next time there's already soap in the washcloth if they leave it like that. Now, when you make them, you can get, if you buy soap at like the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store and other places too, they come like pre-wrapped. And
Yes.
those generally fit inside one. Just
Right.
I don't have any of those at home here. I just have the soap that my husband uses. Now, when you make a soap sack to send in, they have like a label that they kind of put on there. And it says this soap sack was made with love by a SACK member, a volunteer. And then it's got supporting a community with kindness. And it's got each letter highlighted in bold. And it says it could be used as a washcloth or to store your soap, and is made from cotton yarn. So it's nice and soft. And then it has www.soapsacks.com is
How sweet.
that's what the label. Now, I went on there today and they have a couple different, here's another label. I printed out a sheet of each of them and I'll use them.
Oh,
Here's
how good is that?
Now,
Look at that.
I looked and they even have labels that are in a different language. Now, I can't read other languages,
Right.
but probably Spanish for, because
Yeah.
there's different languages. So that was really cool to see. And then a couple of them had above or below this picture, this is like a soap sack. They had like one of them had like the American flag, the red, white, and blue flag. And then there was another one that had a different flag on it. Now, I'm not good with flags and countries, so I'm not going to say anything about what it was from, where it was from.
Right.
But it had, so that was just fun to see.
Hello, Tiffy. Thank you for joining us this evening. Amy is sharing with us a website called Walk Across. No, excuse me. Walk Across. Good grief. Tell them, Amy. I just messed that one up.
Warm Up America.
Thank you. Where was I getting walking from?
I don't
Good
know.
harmonies.
I don't know.
Warm Up America, Tiff.
Yep. No, a lot of them, when you see the Soap Sack one also has a Facebook page.
Oh,
And
awesome.
if you go on their Facebook page and just look at the pictures and everything, they do have, it shows where, I don't know if they do it or people when they send them in, that they do put them like in a plastic bag. Now
Right.
this is just a fold over sandwich bag.
Right.
But then they're kind of like prepackaged, and when they give them or drop them off at like food pantries or food
Yes.
shelves or whatever, then they're just right in a bag and easy to put in their box or bag or however.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how all that works. So
Hello, Darcia and Zonja. Thank you so much. Tiff says, I just ran in the door from school pickups. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Goodness.
So I'm just
Oh,
kind of
wow.
looking. And I was going to talk about, let's see. They have, I'm trying to find, they have different campaigns that they do. And one of the campaigns was, or a challenge. I guess they
Right.
call it a challenge, not a campaign. One of them was the Hallmark Sweets. God, you know, I have it here somewhere.
Yeah, the Hallmark Sweets.
There you go. Yeah. And there's some gal that is like a baker, someone that does stuff, and she did a pattern for this challenge.
Right.
And I sent in a couple scarves, and I didn't take pictures of them, but I did bring up my video because I did a video on it. So if you
Yes,
go to
you did.
my YouTube page, I think it's maybe the last video I have out.
Yes, it is.
But
Yes,
it just shows, wrong way. But that just kind of shows she did a video on that cup that's on there, the mug. And she did a scarf with the mugs all attached.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of cool, but that's a lot of ends to sew in.
Right. It
So
is.
It was cool for about 5 minutes, and then I was over that. So what I did was I made like 7x9. I didn't make the sections by themselves, but I did. So they was 7 wide, and then I did 9 in like the red, because they had 4 colors. They wanted you to use a cream, a red, a pink, and a brown.
Right.
And so it was, you know, I did one color, then I did the other color. So I made sure I had all the colors in there, and I did 9-inch sections, 7 wide.
Right.
And then I put one of those mug things on the end of each one. And then I did the border. I did the twisted fringe on the bottom of it. And I think I sent 3 in.
Oh, wow.
2 regular size, and I didn't realize I shorted one of them a section, but there's still kids out there that need them too.
Well, and you know, too, if you think about it, some folks like me would not care to have a busy scarf like that where you have a coffee cup on each section, but to have it down there on the end, I mean, you made it a little bit unique. So there you go.
Yeah, the one with the coffee cups all attached, I mean, it's really cute, and little girls would probably love that.
Yes.
But
this old grandma here probably would be just happy with the mugs on the end and let it go.
Right. Well, and that was just too many ends. The way it was, you had to sew in all your ends anyways. So and then they had a challenge that was sets for snowmen. And that was, you had to make 2 things. And that's what I did for Maureen's for the crochet combat.
Yes.
Was you had to have a hat and a scarf set, or a hat and mittens. And that's included in the one video about America. So I showed the hats. I think I sent in three
Yes,
sets.
you did.
And I was able to put them all in the same box. And I think I put them in Ziploc bags and labeled them just so they knew, even though they would know, but it makes it easier for the volunteers.
Right.
So they don't have to pull out, I put them together in a bag.
Right.
Right.
Now they did just start a new one. It started actually today.
Woo!
Yeah, and I wanted to point it out. I got it here somewhere. But it has to do with Be Stitched? It's a brand new one. And she did a video on it. Yep.
Oh.
It's on the makers. It's on a Facebook page.
Okay.
They have two Facebook pages. One is just Warm Up America, and then one is Warm Up America Makers.
It's with Bee Hooked Crochet.
Yep, and I just found my notes too. But it's Bee Hooked Crochet, and it's a blanket pattern that she created. I guess she does it every year about this time. And they have a link on the page that talks about it. And which the tutorial was put out today. I did see that and I downloaded it. Now the blanket it's cute. Let's see if I can. The blanket is really cute. Whoop.
Oh, look at that. Is it a ripple?
It's
kind
of,
It is.
It
I'm
is,
getting
but
it now.
it's got kind of like where the colored is.
Yes.
Whereas that's almost like a a solid granny.
Yeah,
But then the other section, like in this one here, the purple section, you can see it's raised off the page. And that one, I haven't looked into it, but that one is a little bit different. I don't know if you do like a strip and you coil it up.
Right.
But yeah, that one is a new. I haven't. It just came out today, so I haven't really watched anything or looked into it too much. But that one goes only until March 20th.
Good grief!
It's like a month. So I'm gonna at least try to make one of those blankets.
Right.
Well, hang on.
I don't know if I'll do white as a background.
There it is.
There you
There
go.
it is.
Oh, look.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the blanket. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it looks really fun. And like I said, I'm gonna try to make one because you've only got until March 20th.
I know it. That's super quick.
And I kind of want to make mine. I kind of want to make it maybe not with white as the background color, maybe a different, because to me, white gets dirty so easy.
Oh, I know.
I would do it with a darker color, like a dark blue or a dark green or even a brown.
Yep, and then find some fun pop-out colors to do with
yes.
it. So,
see, my brain automatically went to a denim shade.
Yes.
When you said blue, I was like, oh, denim. Yes, that would be good.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm watch for that. I'm going to try to make one and then I'll put it, do a video on it for sometime the end of March or whatever.
Right.
Then my mind went to a variegated for the dots.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. That would be good.
Hey,
hello, Angela. Thank you for showing up with us this evening. I'm so happy that you're here.
I think that would be fantastic.
Me too.
I'm not blowing my own horn. I did just donate $50 to Warm Up America.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun to make this stuff, but they really need the financial end of it too to help send stuff out, and
right.
I wanted to make sure they could get stuff sent out. So
if you go on their Facebook page, they show, like in the hallway, they have all these huge boxes lined up in the hallway, and sometimes they say, or they'll have a box open and they'll say this has got 300 scarves in it, scarf and hat sets, or they say what they're sending out.
Right.
And I know on the sack one for the soap sacks, that Facebook page, I think every Friday, if she has a box to unbox, her video is only like a few minutes long because she pretty much, there's not a whole lot you can say. You just show
about a soap sack, right?
Box, or if it doesn't have soap in it, she just kind of dumps them on her table. but it's still fun to see what other people, there's a lot of different types of patterns too. And I just did double crochet because it was quick.
Right.
After I got home last night from doing I donated blood last night.
Good girl.
And then I got home and I thought, I'm going to make a few soap sacks. So I made them last night, and then I finished with one this morning. So
Right.
So yeah, it's just fun stuff to do, and we all love to do the craft.
That's
and
right.
We have supplies to do it. A lot of us do. I guess I
yes, we do.
One does.
And what a wonderful thing to do with leftover yarn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 7x9 squares.
I love that.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I just bought a cone of cotton. You said you got what, 4 out of that little bitty thing? I wonder how many soap sacks I can get out of a cone.
I'll let you know. I'll do one.
No, I'm going to do one. I was sitting here thinking, I just got this. I got it because it was pretty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I
And
got it because it was pretty.
Even your yarn, the red heart yarn that you don't really like anymore.
Yes.
You can do that into sections, and that would be really fun. And then
exactly
whatever they would get put together with, even like a black yarn to join them or something, wouldn't that just be, it would make it stand out. And it's really fun. If you ever have, or like this old yarn, you can do sections and make it a blanket and then wash it, and it'll be just as good as anything.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, it's not hard to do, and I'm very interested now.
Yeah,
I am too.
Yep.
In fact, I can see it being a nice, like the one. Of course, I wouldn't do it right now, but I will do it for myself. I will go and look at that because that blanket looks really cute. I mean, immediately, like I said, I went to a denim color, and then Froggy's saying, a variegated. Wouldn't that be cute with a variegated, like kid colored yarn? And don't ask me why, but even seeing the picture that you showed us in the white with all those different geometric, the circles and the triangles and that kind of thing, I immediately thought of a child. I did. Yes. Hello, Mimi. Thank you for jumping in here. We appreciate this.
Hey, Mimi.
If you're making any of the blankets for Boggy Creek for next year too, they like the bright colors and stuff. And seeing as that one's got that one part that's raised, texture.
Yes.
You just got to adjust your size maybe. But you do that is if you're making something that has to be a certain size, but that would be a fun one, because you could use bright, bold colors.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And a dark background, and it would be really cool for that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of helping them out because they give you so many ways to help them out.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Where did you find your pattern?
The soap sack.
Where was the soap sack pattern you found?
This one was on YouTube. Let me look it up quick. On YouTube, I just did a search for soap sacks. Crocheted soap sack. And mine was from I gotta wait a minute here.
Thank you, Mimi. We love you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here, like I said.
It's from Days Crochet. I'll just see if it paused it.
And this is the Facebook group for the soap sack, but with kindness.
Thank you. Thank you, Frog.
Sack, supporting a community with kindness.
And this one, I don't know if this will show up at all. It's blown out. Whoop,
yeah, it's blown out.
Direction. Yeah, her name on YouTube is Days, like the day, a day, DAY''S crochet. And then it's got a dash in there and it says modern crochet patterns. Here's whoop.
I think Froggy's getting it.
Yeah. And that's where or it's just an easy soap sack. She used the Comfy Cotton, and I have a ton of that too. And it's a blended yarn, but she uses that as well. It's cotton and polyester, I think she
Well,
said.
yeah, that works just as well too.
Anything you use for a dishcloth, you can use for a soap sack.
Oh yes.
And it's just a good way to use up.
There
Now,
you go.
To use some of I have tons of cotton yarn downstairs.
I just dropped the link.
Cool.
I just dropped the link, Mimo D.
Yeah.
Hello, Mimo D. Thank you for being here. I didn't see you pop in earlier.
Yeah, I just dropped the link to that channel. It's Days Crochet.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard to find.
Yeah. And I just put in the search bar last night, crocheted soap sack, and a bunch of them came up. And I picked that because it was just an easy one. It wasn't any fancy pattern. And the guy last night told me to take it easy and have a good dinner and drink lots of water. So I figured I'd better find an easy pattern. So, but
yeah, always do them in 100% cotton or 100% bamboo, or bamboo cotton mix. They seem to work better.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would be better.
Yep.
Yeah, Connie says I have loads of cotton too, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you can send them, mail them directly to the soap sack. I think that's where they'd rather they go to. So look for the soap sack, the Facebook page.
Right.
Now, I should probably do like a better video myself with links to stuff too about that.
Now, didn't you say that Warm Up America, if you did your hats and scarves and blankets, whatever, and donated them locally, that was okay? Just give them an idea of the count that you did, because they would like to keep a count of how many lives have been touched.
Yep.
Right.
And I think if you do that and donate locally, you fill out that survey on the page. Because I think I didn't look at the survey real close, because you had to fill out something and then say next.
Right.
And fill out whatever and then say next. And I guess if I didn't have the daycare kids or something here today, I could have fudged it and did it. But I might have put in, I sent out 20 daycare kids or something.
Right.
Instead of what I really... So, just check that out. It's on their page. You just got to look around on the page to find the stuff.
Right.
That's awesome, Dawn.
It's all right there. So
Dawn's going to make some and donate them to local homeless shelters with a full bar of soap.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, just getting the word out, because I know, it's like I was talking about much earlier, and I was talking with Amy yesterday or day before. I mean, because she and I got to talking about it, and I'm sitting here and my body's just vibrating. I was just so excited about it. Because I don't know about you, I make tons of hats throughout the year. In fact, I've even had some of my family members say, Mom, we're good on hats this year. Just, hold off. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have places that I send them to. I mean, I really do. I make tons of shawls for my church back home. I mean, prayer shawls, and that's great. But when you're just sitting around doing, I'm not going to say nothing, but your hands are working on something that's mindless.
Right.
That's right. Oh, yeah. I don't know how you keep from going nuts, Amy. That's
I read that too.
Her hands going all the time. It keeps her from ringing.
I honestly do. As I'm sitting here, I'm like fidgeting with my hands. When my cousin was in the hospital, they gave us a cart came in the room with free stuff on it. And even people that were visiting could have something off the cart. Right. Now, my cousin is disabled, so he can't use the right side of his body. But so all the coloring and that stuff, it's hard for him because you would have to hold the paper and you'd have to get the stuff out for him. But they had stress balls.
Nice.
So
I got one right here.
Yep. I sit here and I squish this quite often. And it was nice that we could have them too, because me and the nurse for the house he lives in were both there, and all three of us got a stress ball. So But yeah, I've been sitting here
No
fidgeting.
problem, Tiffany.
I'm used to doing stuff all the time. So
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I just think that I mean, honestly, I don't know why. Now, guys, honestly, when Amy and I were talking, I had no idea that it was based out of Texas. I honestly did. But when I did go and pull it up, of course, my heart just swelled a little bit bigger out here because it's in Texas,
Absolutely.
But I mean, what a wonderful way to take care of folks that honestly fall through the cracks so many times.
Well, and they send stuff to places where there have been floods, or when California had those wildfires.
Yes.
Blankets and stuff, because you can just be comforted by a blanket. The blankets, the soap sacks, because then they could go and have something to wash up with. Even if it's not, even if it's just your arms and your hands because you're dirty from whatever. It's just nice to have your own thing and have it donated to you. So
they're very helpful.
Yeah.
Well, and see, like Connie said, I have so many friends to make stuff for every year. My family is burnt out on shawls. That's right.
Yep. Yep. And that Sabre thing has got different places and it's mainly, I think it's mainly like nursing homes or those kind of facilities. And it's more on the East Coast. A lot of them, I think, are on the East Coast. And so there's just a ton of places you can, send stuff to. And then when they need more, then they just, the file spreadsheet just gets updated, or when it's been filled, then they do the red line and put zeros at everything. And then blankets for veterans,
Oh,
yeah. Always.
And it doesn't have to be a section blanket. It can just be a lap blanket.
Right.
So not everything has to be section based. That's just kind of how they started.
Right.
Because they accept things in Texas too that are just a blanket, if you just want to make a blanket. So,
right.
So yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
Very handy. I like it. I think it's a great organization. Well, I hope our chat will get involved with Warm Up America.
Yes, I do too. Thank you, Faith Louise, for popping in here.
That's wonderful, Mimi.
Mimi's working on her first lap dance. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and if you have any questions or want to try to get a hold of me, my email's on my YouTube channel, but it's CA, that stands for Crafting Adventures. I didn't want the whole word, but it's CA with Amy at yahoo.com. And if you email me, I can, try to answer your questions or whatever too. So
Well, and Denise just said she's always looking for new places to donate.
Yeah.
Well, I always say the best place to start is to call your local hospitals and your nursing home facilities. Right. And even many churches will take in donations that are handmade, because they have list of their shut-ins, that would love stuff like that too. So if you just wanted to start local, that's great. But if you want to be part of something bigger, then yes, Warm Up America, I think, is a great place to start as well.
I think it is a wonderful place to start.
Thank you, Catbird, for popping in. We appreciate you.
I definitely think you should. Definitely start out with it.
Right.
There we go.
I want to say thank you to all of you for popping in here and being with us this evening. And Amy, I especially want to say a very, very heartfelt thank you to you for coming up and doing this for me. Number one, because I'm just so proud of the organization because it's from Texas. But it, like I said, I was just so excited. My body was humming about it because, Warm Up America. Oh my goodness, what a title. If that doesn't melt your heart, I don't know what will.
Right.
Honestly.
That's what I thought too. Think about what that means to warm up America. The world.
I know.
We really appreciate you telling us all about it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I do. Thank you so much.
I could have talked for a couple hours.
Well, I want to tell everybody to But we will be live with Twisted Fiber Friends tomorrow.
Sunday.
Yeah, I forgot what day of the week it was. On Sunday, and we will be over at Maureen's house. Am I correct?
Yes, be at
So-
my house.
We will see you Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern at Maureen's. But stay safe and be kind to one another.
And please remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light that they need to see. Again, I love you all, and thank you so much, honestly, for being here with us this evening. See you next time.
Bye
See you
now.
later. Bye, everyone.